No problem. Thank you for having me. Oh, we got it. Awesome. Oh, you got all the good stuff. All right.
Yeah. Do you want to put that on, or you
Nah,
want me
I'll just trade you.
to trade you? Okay.
Ah, yes. Sure, handsome. Uh-oh. That's a problem. I'll fix that real quick and I'll show you how and why. Hello. Hi. You're so handsome. Ah, good deep breath. Okay. Okay, you got the first part right. But you're tying this around this loop
Oh, okay.
instead of around itself.
Okay.
This way, if it ever gets tight,
Mm-hmm.
too tight if he steps on it or pulls back,
Mm-hmm.
all you have to do to loosen it when it gets super tight is just push this top part
Uh-huh.
up and that whole thing will loosen. This will be free and it'll let go. If you tie it the other way, that knot will get tight. You may have to cut it out
Okay.
depending on. Hello. Said, Mommy, save me. Mommy, save me. That guy's here again. Better watch out. Oh, we remember what to do, don't we? We're not running around like a crazy pony anymore.
Should I go drop this off?
You can. We'll walk that way while we're playing. I just want to see how long it takes to get him. How was he today? Coming in better?
Yeah. Yeah. Granted, I think he was asleep when I got to the barn, but yeah.
You're not paying attention. How much have you played with any of this stuff?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. There's a looking at you, shaking his head. He's, oh man, this is one of them games I can't win. And that's one of the things when he feels pressure on that halter. When you go to pull on it, he goes, "Oh, there's a game I can win," and he goes like that and go where he wants. These knots don't mean nothing. That's a sales ploy. The whole idea is this: that the halter and rope is just a signal. It's almost like a like they used to do elephants. They'd put a little like a handcuff on them when they're babies, and they believed that was magic. They can never break it, so they never try. And so when one of them would finally get mad enough at his handlers that he would accidentally break it just out of rage, and then he went, "Oh, they're not magic. I can do what I want, and it's a rampage." That's all this is supposed to be, is just prove to him that there's one thing that he can't push through and get through. But really, if you're thinking that that's going to save you just like a bigger bit or even 2 reins, if to really understand how ineffective 2 reins are and how effective 1 rein at a time is, I always suggest riding with just 1 rein. So if you're going this way, you have a rein to help tip his nose this way in case he gets scared. You can get him in a neutral lateral. And then when you want to go the other way, throw the rein over, start the signal, add the pressure on the leg, ride him this way. If he doesn't, you still help you to restart. But it gets you out of the habit. It's just a human thing. You can't not do it. I don't know where it gets imprinted, either through people giving lessons that just thought they knew enough about horses to had a couple gentle horses and got by, so I just taught people how to do that. But really pulling on 2 reins, pulling on a horse period, but 2 reins at a time just causes all kinds of problems. You can do it, but your timing has to be impeccable. And you're technically not pulling on both reins. You're picking up a feel on one side, and one side's an active rein, the other's a static rein, and they can vibrate back and forth. And when you're doing fancy dressage stuff, that's what you're doing. But you shouldn't be pulling on both reins. When you pull on the reins, you technically can disengage the whole top line. That's where all their power and strength and ability to float like a butterfly. If you've been on a horse that's been through his top line, they hit the ground soft. It almost feels like you're floating, like they're not using any energy to move that way. And you'll see them when they're a little bit excited. They'll look like they're floating a little bit, that they're just real springy like Hager. not out of control, only a little bit excited. That's what you're looking for when you're trying to do those fancy maneuvers, is that you're getting them a little bit up on adrenaline but still in control, so they have the use of all their faculties. And if they're through their top line and you're not disengaging that top line by pulling on the bit, that they're collecting their head and neck so that they can keep their top line in control. You're not using the bit to keep them from going faster or slower, controlling their impulsion. Then they can do those maneuvers without any force. They could do it without any bit, even if they understood the maneuver. I know, that guy is so handsome you can't stop looking at him. So the whole idea is, if you can convince him that you can move his body without getting in his face, then if his face is free, then his top line can stay engaged, and he can make those maneuvers without being afraid, because you're trying to crank him into a spot. And now he's not only not understanding the pressure, and every day it's different. There's no consistency to it. Whoa, hello. One more. That wasn't very good at all. You want to get bit? I wouldn't want to get bit if I were you. You're not a giver upper, are you? You look like you're a pretty tough guy. Did you see that little snotty look he gave to me when I ticked him? Just a little bit. He kind of pinned his ears at me a second. He's thinking about challenging me for dominance. If he can reach out and bite me or strike me, it may cause me to give up. He may have run into somebody at one time that did give up if he challenged him. Yeah, okay. So he's going, well, maybe this will get you to stop. Whoop, 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 whoop. I know, it doesn't matter, does it? But anyway, if his mind's not in it, if he's not thinking with you and thinking, yeah, I want to do that maneuver too, because you want to, because we're partners, then it's just a fight to ever get anything of that stuff done. It's all forced. See, I was late there, now I'm way behind. He saw that. He saw you were fumbling. He's smart. That's a good, just like everything, blessing and a curse. But once he goes, oh, okay, you got all the moves, you can block, and then put me right in gear and make me say hut, 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 3 steps in a row, 3 huts in a row. He's gonna go, okay, you got me, because I don't, but he may still challenge you. But once you start get a couple of those where he just clicks off 3 in a row without any argument, are you really gonna go? Are you think you can make it? Yes, I've seen some like you before. They're funny. They're cracking me up every time. Your nose is itchy now? How'd I know that? Think I haven't seen that cartoon before? So I'm just playing a game with him. Pay attention. Everything. It's going to be fun. If you get engaged in the game, you'll see. Oh, it's just like playing with other horses. That we're just moving each other. See who can move each other around and do the right thing. Then we're hang out and see who wins. Who's higher in the pecking order. And once that's established, then we can go from there. But that has to be established. If he thinks he's ahead of you, and every time you challenge that, he's just going to go, well, what do I got to do to frustrate you to get you to let me think I can go where I want to go? Right now, he thinks this is not a game, this is a war. He's going, no, you lost the war, but we get to play games. We're not going to war anymore. We're just going to play games. Can you move your hindquarters? Can you look at me like a partner? Trust and respect. Have to have boundaries. Sorry, but your brain's only about as big as a 3-year-old as far as mental capacity. Still got a lot of other qualities to it. A lot of sensitivities built in that we don't have. Hi. Kind of like peekaboo. Yeah, peekaboo. Can you? Simon says. I see you thinking that might be a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. And again, if I pull on his face, he can brace against that and get stronger. Where if I put energy there, he's going. I don't know what to do with that. I know what to do with pulling energy to brace against it, and how to try to whip my head around and get my hip towards you and get straight, get my ribs straight. Where I'm trying to get his ribs crooked to disengage that big engine. That's not so hard. You're making it out to be a chore. It's just a puzzle. It's just a puzzle. See what I mean? See what you get if you're a good boy? And paying attention. I know. I see you thinking that might be a good idea. It's not such a bad idea to be friendly. I know. Not that far. What a big baby. You don't want to cuddle. You don't have to cuddle. You gotta pay attention though. We can do something else. Wouldn't cuddling be more fun? not invited to come in that close. I'll come and cuddle with you. I see what you think's gonna happen, but that's not. Hopefully he lets his guard down a little bit in a second. I find a good enough itchy spot that he goes, whoa. Whoa, you have more value than I thought. Ah, look how great that was. That was like a superstar move. Right there. This is a spot right here. Secret spot. Now what are you doing in here? What'd you come in here for? I'll come see you. I know, it's important though. It's very important. Who moves whose feet determines the herd dynamics. I don't see your value yet. All I see is pressure. Get mad, don't get mad. Think your way through the problem. There. It's not rocket science. There's got to be another solution. There's got to be another solution. Trying to breathe, can you hear him? Yoo-hoo. Don't go away. Stay here with us. That's so hard.
You like him, huh?
Oh, you see something to play with? You like chewing on stuff? You like to chew on stuff? Is that what you like to do?
Do you think it'd be possible for me to try, or he's still kind of too high strung?
No, he's not headstrong. It's just if you make contact and give him that chance to pull, then he's going to put you out of balance, put him in shape to get you in trouble, and then you'll just have to haul on it, and then it's not going to accomplish the you can. He's getting close to where he needs to be as far as starting to relax. He feels like a horse that had been just basically disappointed by humans for so long that he just puts up with whatever he has to and just grins and bears it. He's just barely opening up right now.
No, I trust with whatever.
No, but the deal is, just as long as you understand the concept and that you're eagle eye watching him, that he's not taking over, going back to all these new habits where, wait a minute, now you got to get away, act like a partner, pay attention. We go together. And he thinks the only way to get you to calm down is he calms down and goes with you like a partner. Not too close. Be ready. You got an elbow. You're not trying to hit him. You're trying to go, I wouldn't run into that if I were you.
I was taking him out of the paddock today, and he basically just kind of mowed me down.
Yeah.
So.
And when you're getting ready to open the gate, look at his face. Is he going looking past you and doing this? Go, oh, hey, what are you looking at? Think about me. Start, put a couple of these in here until he just takes a deep breath. Start to get to the gate. See if his energy goes up again. Go, oh, no. If you can't stand still, or you can't stand 3 steps back while I get this gate open, and let's think about coming. Just be ready. Be way ahead of him. Interrupt that pattern that he's had, because once that's strong, good patterns are just as easy to build as bad ones. And if those bad patterns have been built, all you have to do is just interrupt them and replace them with good patterns. It's like they say, bad habits, you don't break them, you replace them. You find a different activity to occupy that need, and that's all you're trying to do, is interrupt that pattern that he thinks he needs to do this to be safe. And you just got to keep reminding him, no, I'm telling you, it doesn't work that way. I would suggest only doing it in a place where you wouldn't have to, for safety reasons, go, whoa, you can't go there. Like a round pen, or even a paddock, that if he got loose, you could still just aggravate him behind until he looked at you enough where you could catch him again. Because he's got that built in enough. And the smaller the area, the less you have to move, the better. The less you move your feet, the more he moves his. So if he's loose, like in that round pen, I would just walk towards his hindquarters out there. He could be at the outside of the ring and do as much as he wants. I'll stand at the middle and throw it towards the back of his hip, and it'll hit the rail. It doesn't hit him until he finally goes, wait a minute, pressure behind, what do I do with that? Move away, brings his head to me, thinks about, oh, maybe this is a better solution than running around. And that's the first step to them going, oh, the way to calm and connection is connect with somebody else that acting like a horse, doesn't look like a horse, but understands the dynamics of a herd. So maybe I'll give them a try. And if it's beneficial, if we're a benevolent dictator in their mind, I mean, you can just imagine people the same way. If they've had a rough life, it's hard for them to trust and just open up. We just got to keep ticking away at it, going, here's the basic things. You can't be in my space unless I ask you to, and I'll probably not ever ask you to until you're good enough at staying in your space. I'll come get in your space, and then I'll set it up and see if, can you move that foot here? Can you move that hind quarter there? Can you do it with a good attitude, with a light pressure, with just a thought? That's what it all is coming down to. So now he's back. So yeah, that change. And you're just looking for the change. When he changes and goes, okay, okay, you just just get back into that mode until he's like, yeah, you're right, I'm here with you.
And
But
I think I mentioned last time too, so his paddock mate is like a big draft
yeah,
bully. And do you think that then is that maladaptive from him, or there's always
it doesn't matter. You should think they should both think when you walk out, up here's the real herd leader, and they don't move their feet unless you direct them. If they're moving their feet in a way you didn't direct it, you have something. You just keep moving away until you, if you want to come towards the gate or get in or whatever. Well, when you stand out here and relax a little bit for a second, I'm going to rub you in. If you think, oh, you're just going to run me over, we're going to stop again until they'll eventually go, what do I got to do to calm you down? Same thing here. We're in a more controlled situation, but that's all you're trying to do is go, what is the solution to this puzzle? We've done this other thing for so long that's the habit and pattern, and so why it feels we're used to it. It's, whether it's bad for us or not, it works for us. We're used to it. So and they'll feel better when there's more structure and more discipline and trust and respect, and they know where they'll be able to calm down because they go, oh, we really don't have to worry about anything all the time. If her energy's light and quiet, I'll probably be okay, just like when we're in the wild, when that herd leader is calm and quiet, and vice versa when they're like you don't have to be the first, you just don't want to be the last. Hey, there you go. See how much better you are. Yeah, you're starting to open up. Yes, he said, oh, that does kind of feel good. It does kind of feel good. Oh. Oh, yeah. That's usually where I start, is trying to get that going a little bit. But I mean, I'd have to start in the stall or somewhere in their paddock, or like if I was doing it on a horse that I was starting personally, I would try to get them engaged, be as charismatic in their mind as I could be, find itchy spots that they forgot that they had because they can't itch them, no way to get to them. They start thinking I magically can read their mind. Oh, somebody got to lay down, or you want to play with that string. It's not a snake. It's not a snake. He's finally engaging with me and playing with my toys and not being so worried about that stuff. He's like, oh, that's all you're doing is getting that. Once he goes, oh, I don't have to watch out for myself, and you watching out for me, and every time I stop and relax, you try to help me relax even more. He'll start falling in love with that, and then we start doing something with it. And you'll see when he's partnering and attentive, he's going to flop right to you. Whatever you want to do. He just has to have a whole rewrite of his, not a whole rewrite, just the parts of how he thinks humans and him should interact. How his normal pattern of human interaction used to be and how it is now.
Is this the majority for what you see, is those that have been sort of bullied around or bullied back, or?
Well, they have all different defense mechanisms. Bully back or just avoid and kind of wilting flower, the runoff, hard to catch, bolt all the time. Mostly it's inattentive. If they're not paying attention to you, it's a sign they don't respect you, and if they don't respect you, they can't love you, and love and trust goes both ways. So we don't trust them if we're holding them like this. We're telling them we don't trust. I'm saying, no, what are you getting worked up about? What are you all worked up about? I know, old patterns die hard. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just in time. You got back just in time. I almost did the final swing. Yes, the nail in the coffin was coming. You avoided it just in time. What good timing you have. It's just back and forth that game until he's like, There's no sense in going away. You're just going to tickle me back here until you bite me back here, and every time I pay attention, your energy's got to come down. This will help you as a human, being present, not being wrapped up in the rest of the world. Taking that, being out, being present. I don't know if laying down in here is a good idea. You're going to get all dirty. Tell me, it's not deep enough for laying down. It's only deep enough for dressaging. That's all we got good for in here. Don't get over here rubbing your nose on me and get boogers all over my good shirt. I'll wipe them with my hand. Thank you. Okay. 4/4 yield. Not so hard, was it? Because he's left brain and dominant, it's hard. It's going to be a lot harder to move his front end than his hind end was. But you almost, like another horse, you're kind of signaling, and you want him to go and be set up, be ready to poke in an ear, have a finger ready by his nose, something that's soft and tender that you don't have, and then just start acting like you're going to bite his neck like another horse until he moves away. He just has to move this much. He's going, and then he's going to test you, and you may have to bite just until he moves away each time you stop, rub. So this is called porcupine game, steady pressure. So the two types of pressure that we're going to use to get our horses to yield is steady pressure and driving pressure, and that was the driving pressure that we saw first. It's not ideal to start that way, but sometimes on horses like this in this kind of space, it's.
Sorry, I think I'm confused by that steady pressure thing. I'm trying to see what you're doing.
I'm thinking in my final, when this horse we're all perfect partners. When I think I'm going that way, you should go with me. I'm going to head that way, and if he doesn't go, if he doesn't feel that, he's going to feel this light pressure, and if he doesn't go, he's going to feel a little tighter pressure, and then if he doesn't go on the third, he's going to, until it feels like I'm fixing to bite him. So he's going to naturally go, oh, as soon as he thinks moving away from that pressure, just like everything, think about moving away from that pressure before it gets there, and the pressure will quit. So when he starts going, and when we set, that's everything you set up. You set up, my energy's up, I'm thinking that way. He's not paying attention, so it's not going to affect him like we want. But you set it up, and you start feeling like he's going, oh, I know where you're going to go. Just like if I did this, and he followed that energy and kind of went with it, that he saw that I was trying to get his attention, and then direct it where we want to go. See if he follows that feel. And if he didn't follow it, I'd push a little on his hindquarters. It would push it, cause his nose to come just a little bit more. And I'm not, I didn't use anything. I got ready to go. I got in position. He go, oh, I know what happens when you get in position. Next thing you know, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that, and then you're going to tag me on my butt. So that if he starts going, if I'm consistently do that every time, go, give it the phase 1, the phase 2, phase 3, and then tag him, it should have worked. You ready? He's not paying attention. Oops, I missed twice in a row. Oh man. There it is. The more accurate you are, of course, the better it's going to look to him, is that you can mean what you say and say what you mean. I know. What do you got? You look like a horse got an itch on the belly is what it looks like to me. And then once he starts realizing, oh, you're helping, when he reaches for a fly on his belly, and you go over there and scratch it where he couldn't get it, and scratch it harder, and he's like, and he starts, points to a couple others that he starts going, oh man, you're communicating with me. We're gonna get along if you're gonna pay attention to where I itch, and how I show you when you do find a good spot that you satiate it a little bit for me, or at least come back to it more often again. He's like, oh, I feel that energy coming. I'm getting excited. He has something to look forward to. then be careful that he doesn't just thrust that upon you, because once they got that, then they'll start pushing their body into you. You go, whoa, 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 stop, 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 move away, move away, move away, move the front, move the back, and okay, now that you moved away, where was that spot again? You can't just throw it into me. That's dangerous. It's a good start. He's trying to communicate with you, but he can't do it like that. Is that another good spot?
Why do you video it?
For value. I'm feeding you a lot of information, and that's technically what we're taught not to do. But if I can give you the basics and then elaborate a little bit, and half of it's gonna go over your head, okay, no problem. You have reference to it, and yeah, I'll share it with you. And then if you care to share it, we have a group that like the audit. So if some people have personal lessons and they don't. Or you get a little close. That was nice. That was
Probably getting a lot of close-ups, right?
Huh?
Probably getting a lot of close-ups right there.
Yeah,
Comes right
and yeah, but it kind of will give you a different view of what it should look like. It's not ideal, but it's free. And then, like I said, I can share this with other people. I would rather more people get it than me repeat myself more times and financially gain from it. I'd just rather people get it. So I mean, that's there's the Aeon. And this halter may be a little small for him. And then it being a little longer down on his nose, if he does happen to hit the end of it, you'll have a little more. You want to have it at least wide enough there that when he yawns, but kind of up above that cartilage piece on his nose, just in case it gets hit. Those aren't the greatest halters, but again, if you're not using it for anything other than like what we're doing there, it should be fine. Are you going to yawn? You're starting to get out of your shell, aren't you? You're not up for a fight anymore. I'm up for having buddy time. And so whenever that attitude comes up, your attitude comes up plus 4 ounces, your energy, and when his goes down, yours goes down with it. And he starts going, I just should tune in with you instead of, I'll trade you here. You're a good old guy. You see how he's kind of looser. You see, I mean, I know you see, but that's all what you're looking for is this is what it takes to get him to believe that you're in charge, that you can
like
move his
this,
feet.
should I?
Yeah, if he didn't ask, and now don't pull on his face.
Yes.
Yeah. Just get back, keep, if he's moving where you don't want to be, get back so you can put enough energy in that line. Yes, there it is, there it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. As soon as he tries, give him a chance, give him a rub. And he came in, don't let him do that, yep. And try to have more line out than that, so it's not making contact, that you're just energy's going out, that this is just, it's just flopping, it's not actually bumping the end of the halter.
Right, you were kind of doing this too.
And you can't, yeah,
No, with this.
yeah, no, either way, just like that. So you were just a little bit short, so when you came down, it bumped on the halter. There. As soon as he takes one step, give him a rub, or stop the energy and then start again. If he goes back that soft, think about, let me see if I can bring that energy up soft, and see if he follows that feel, and takes another step and looks at me with respect. Yeah, right there. Whoa. As soon as he takes that first step, and think about starting as soft as possible and steadily going firm to necessary, and being conscious that you're going up and down. And it's hard to do without somebody reminding you. So
Yeah.
and then watching the video, don't pull it, see how let that rope slide, and let that slack get enough in there. When he goes out there, just let him slide over there, and you go, okay, if you're going over there, I'm coming over here. Let that rope slide and get ready to get to the end of the rope. Don't pull on his head. There, now he's back. No pulling, no fighting. He came with a good attitude.
And so the head down, like he's not paying attention?
It's well, a little bit, but he's relaxed too.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, oh, he's getting too into it, then put that slack out. come back over here and start heading to his hindquarters. If he's coming too far in the front, be ready to stop that. Until you're just always looking at how little does it take for me to get his attention back on me. And if he comes on me and just kind of flops forward and go, whoa, I just said pay attention, not step forward. So now you step out, now you're crooked, so let's go ahead and ask your hindquarters to move and don't step forward and don't. Good job. Here, give me that. Here, I'll give you a cookie for that. That was a good trick. That's a good trick. Left brain horses, thinking horses will tend to want to pick things up and play with it, so you can use that to get him to go, oh, I just picked something up for you, and you can teach him to pick things up and hand them to you. The better you build your relationship, he thinks there's good. See how what's your hand? See how unconscious that is. It's something you have to consciously walk around. Like if you were going to enter a contest, how many times can I pat my head and rub my belly without doing it wrong, and then switch every minute? You would put a lot of effort, focus, practice on doing that and getting it clear in your mind and your head. It's the same way here. You're way too short. Yep. And so if you hold that rope where you can use one hand to slide it down here and this to, let that rope slide. As you're adding energy, you can let that rope slide, and then you have the other end of the rope. If it gets too long, you can just pull that out or pull it out again. Try to keep just not any kind of tangle in there, and start maneuvering that rope up and down. And if you just watch when it gets too short, but not, you're just short enough that he's not stepping on it, but long enough so that you can throw that loop in there and pop him in the chin with that knot if needed be, or you can wiggle it a little bit and he can feel. You can give him a rub. If he can feel that energy starting to change, and he starts thinking, oh, you're going to ask for something. If he's thinking towards you and trying to figure it out, then maybe even go a little lighter. And if he's looking away, not trying to figure it out, bigger until he pays attention, and then you go, and then you start light.
And so, like when I do that, if his head kind of jumps, that doesn't count. It should be a step more.
It should be, but you're building up to understanding each other. You don't have your energy organized in your body like I do for him to understand. So you have to think about that. And it's one of those deals you should probably practice in the mirror, or have a friend hold the halter and tell you when she can feel that much energy, close her eyes and then get that right in yourself. Keep going up and down until he looks at you. Walk towards his hip, walk away from him. Keep letting line. There you go. Good. It's just his habit. And if you think about he came in just think about starting up here and then start getting that energy up and watching his eye the whole time. If he's going, oh, I'm trying to figure it out, or if he's looking away, get bigger. If he's trying to figure it out, just try to help him figure it out. So when he's looking like this, it's easier just to go to the hindquarter and let him catch your attention like that. Rub him, and then now ask him for that hindquarter yield. There you go. I like to say it's simple, not easy. Keep walking. So if you can't get his attention, just don't worry about his head. Start looking at his hindquarters. He's already past you, so go to the other side. There's a nice one. Good. And if he disconnects like that, throw your line out, head to the other side, and get him where he's like, oh, you need him. You want to get him to the point where he stays connected until you disconnect him. There, rub him. Yep. Well, he was going to finish that too, but getting his attention was the first thing. If you were intent on him, if you went past the point of I'll stop once you give me your attention, you were almost past that point, then you go, okay, now I just don't want your attention. I'm going to have your attention and a hindquarter yield because it took so long. You're going to have to do that and another. And then as he gets better, it's going to be that attention, hindquarter yield, a backup, a forequarter yield, another hindquarter yield. There. And get it in your mind, when you start pressure, you have to continue that pressure and get bigger and bigger until it affects him in some way. or he's going to learn sometimes pressure means something and sometimes it doesn't. And you're always trying to start as light as possible. There. Nice. You got a big deep breath out of it. I'd stay rubbing him a little bit because it would be better if you think about this, get it really right in your mind before, because you get with your horse and then you get in a hurry and something goes wrong and then you get confused. If you really, I'll try to get this video as soon as I can to you. I think the other one's, no, it's on. I can get it done tonight maybe.
It's fine. I mean,
But don't pull on his face. There you go. Push his hindquarters. Don't. So now you just activate the other rein. There you go. So once you go to the hindquarters, this rein gets still. You're trying to feel if he's putting more tension or less tension in that line, and with the other hand, you're using it to put pressure on his hindquarters. I wasn't doing that to you. I was showing her a picture of what it was supposed to look like. Sorry.
late nightfall.
Yep.
Okay, so that one right there, you just like pinch me over.
A little bit, but you're,
Okay.
well, it's not okay. It's okay. That's going to be his pattern. That's better than it used to be. And so now I got to be ready for him. If he's in that state of mind, he's probably just trying to rub on me. Probably got an itchy spot somewhere. If I'm ready to rub him a little, you have my claws ready to rub him just a little bit harder than he wants. Maybe he'll yield for me, which is better than him causing me to accidentally yield from him. It's just putting, yeah, that or using your hands to kind of make it harder for him to be in there nudging you make it more uncomfortable for him to be in there nudging you than he wants it to be. He may just want to be rubbed. So just rub him a little harder than he wants and see if you can find that balance where he'll take that, but because it was so hard at first, or you rub to a point where he came back a little ways and then you go back to the spot where you think he might have liked it, and maybe he'll, yep. So you gotta start feeling him creeping in way before that and change your energy. It's just one of those habits you have to get into yourself, that when you feel that coming closer, keep going, bigger, 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 bigger. You're too short on the one rein, but that's okay. You got it done. You see what I'm saying? The rein, the rein closest to his halter was way too short, so you weren't able to affect the energy as well as you could with the other side. Yeah, it's a good sound. He said, man, you taught her well. He said, I understand her too now. So, see, he was good until then you could feel him lean, and he takes another step. That's why I was stepped back and got ready to go, wait a minute, you're getting, don't do it now, but just, you're always conscious of, is he starting to creeping in, and be ready to go. Step back and go, wait a minute, there you go, keep going, there it is, keep going, there it is, whoa, and don't follow him, don't move your feet. Very important that you don't move your feet, because that tells him that you are in charge. If you can do all that without moving your feet, it means you can throw your energy out in different places. Look, go that way, don't pull his head, go that way, don't pull his head, there. Do it again, don't pull his head, push his hindquarters. He's connected to me is all, that's all. That's okay, just keep pushing his hindquarters. There it is, you're back.
Yeah,
He
okay.
finally likes me. Oh, you big baby. Finally, you're fun.
He was